This is Josiah Plays Planescape Torment Enhanced Edition. Playing my favorite game of all time. We're in the mortuary still, because of course we are, because this is Josiah speed. And Josiah speed means slower than anyone else in the world. Do I want to fuck up some more skeletons? I don't know, do I? Do I? Hey. Let's try it right in front of this dustman. Using your pry bar, you rip the bolts from the skeleton's joints. The skeleton collapses, some of its bones still twitching. Hey, twitching. Not a lot of point to this that I remember, but maybe I can get... Oh, these don't stack? Oh, they do. Okay. These don't stack, though. I guess it would be helpful to destroy all the skeletons this way if you were planning to start a fight with the dustmen and you didn't want the skeletons getting involved in helping them. I don't think these clubs are worth even... Yeah, I know. They're probably worth almost nothing. Same with the leather straps and the iron spikes, right? I can't remember if one of the skeletons does something special when you destroy it, though. So, you know, for the sake of completeness and science. Probably incredibly pointless. I like how they did a great job individualizing all of the zombies, but they didn't individualize the skeletons as much in terms of what could go down with them. The vandal? No. I'm setting free these bodies from the evil sorcery that's animating them. I object to this on moral grounds. That doesn't make me a vandal. That makes me an activist. A revolutionary, perhaps. Mort, take this crap. Mort's inventory starts filling up with... Probably pointless, like I said, but I won't know for a fact it's pointless until after I've actually done it. Writing why these skeletons are bare bone. Oh, really? Here comes Anonymous with the puns. I haven't seen a lot of puns out of Anonymous in recent times. I remember way back before I stopped streaming for a while when Anonymous was watching me. He was watching me play that really shitty Shadowrun game. Not the good ones from Cliffhanger, but... Oh no, maybe it is Cliffhanger. Not the good ones from Harebrained Schemes, but the one from Cliffhanger. The, like, pseudo-MMO-y one. Shadowrun Chronicles, Boston Lockdown. He was watching me play that, and I remember he fucking had a ton of puns when I was... they were related to summoning a spirit bear or something. We went off on a huge bear pun tangent. Alright, well, I have to go back down at this point because there's nothing else to really do here. Mortuary, second floor.
I'm gone.
So now I could go back to the dude. Do I have the key to this now? I think I do. I do. I could go back to... Still trying to impress you back then? Why would anyone want to impress me? Okay, this is another one of those larger things. Got a zombie worker here. This especially ghastly looking female corpse is missing its ears, nose, and lips. In order to sew her jaw closed, whoever prepared her had to draw the skin especially tight around her mouth. You can still see a line of crooked yellow teeth through the open slit that remains. The number 891 has been carved into the flesh of her brow. Wow. That sounds lovely. So, do it later. She continues to stare at you. Much larger, allows it to be rotated. There's a lot of these much larger than the other slabs going on. Bandages and cleaning rags. Cleaning rags, not to be confused with just rags. This damp mass of rags looks like it's been used to mop up blood and other less savory bodily fluids. Not to be confused with just rags. Okay. Oh, but you did impress me, Anonymous. You did. So, mission successful. I don't know why you'd want to, but succeeded. Alright. Now I can go up and down through there as well. So, at this point, I could go back to the zombie dude. Who is actually... No, I need to change something. Gameplay, keyboard scrolling speed. Put up. Touch. I don't want to overdo it and make it like blazing fast. So just so you guys know, the default when you start the game is this. This is how you move around by default. The slow walking. Like this. And you can turn it on always run as an option, and I have always run as an option turned on. Right now I'm holding down shift, which is making me walk. By default, you walk like that and you hold down shift to run. But of course, obviously, we ain't trying to slow walk everywhere. And for some reason, that is a feature that is requested heavily by these people every time one of these isometric RPGs gets made. Let us walk and run. Let us walk, let us rock. Because most of the games nowadays, they just let you run. That's it. You run all the time. There is no walking. And people always request it and make a big deal out of it. Let us walk, let us walk. And I'm like, you know, if you want your game to just randomly be slower, spend more time fucking around doing nonsense like I do. No, but it's more immersive. It's for role play. Let me tell you something. Watching this, I am not more immersed in the game. I do not suddenly feel like, oh, wow, now it feels so real to me. Now it's like, it's a living setting. Oh, I'm so into character right now because look at us. Look how slow we're going. That makes it real. I don't know. That's just me, though. That's just me. Some people obviously have different feelings about the matter. So now we can vote. Who wants me to go to always walking? Who wants me to go to always walking? Because that way you can be more immersed or whatever. That will make the playthrough even longer. So do I want to do the disguise thing? I don't think I want to give him that key yet, though, because I feel like if I give him that key... The embalming room key. Where the fuck is the embalming room? Can't remember if that was on the other floor or not. You vote always run? Yeah, Vez. That's kind of my feeling as well. Never walk. Almost 2 years since the last Shadowrun Returns-based game. I feel kind of let down. I definitely want more of those Shadowrun games. They're so good. Although I'm going to tell you something crazy. Installing cheat engine and playing at 400% speed. Well, no, I'm not going to do that, but... Oh, WoW is different. Yeah, you should definitely have the option to walk in an MMO. That's a whole different category of game with whole different everything. Okay, so... Do I want to do the... I don't think I want to give him this key yet, because I might still be able to use it for something. I can't remember. But I might get the zombie disguise. But I don't think I really need to. Hold on, let me just quick save here. Got some questions for you. Disguise me as a zombie. Here you go. The zombie takes the items from you, then sets to work. Gotta hold still. Can't believe you're going through with this. How barmy are you? Pretty barmy, I suppose. Oh, it was so worth it! So worth it! 500 fat XPs! The zombie liberally applies the embalming fluid to your body, then stitches up several of your scars. Working from your feet upwards, he stitches up your scars, then finishes off the disguise by stitching up to your lips. Thanks. Can't you make the stitches on his lips any tighter? Zombie holds up his hand. Careful. Take those stitches out. Ruin disguise. Zombie no talk. You got to talk? Talk slow. Careful. Take heed that no one expects zombies to talk. If you speak to someone as a zombie, you run the risk of exposing your disguise. I don't actually care about exposing my disguise. I just wanted the XP.
Updated my journal.
Zombie frowns. This disguise won't last long. Embalming fluid dry up. Stitches fall out. He shrugs. Probably not last outside mortuary. And no running. You run, you ruin whole disguise. Equipping weapons and or running will instantly nullify your zombie disguise. If you find a new weapon, hold off on equipping it until you no longer wish to be disguised. You have always run on. Be sure to switch it off if you want to maintain the disguise when you finish speaking to Vaxus. Oh, hell no. So look, I actually am disguised, right? I've got no weapon equipped. So I can creep around, and I even do the zombie walk and everything. But if I run, it goes away, which means I'd have to slowly go through. Oh god. How terrible is the zombie disguise? Owned by the game. I know, look how slow this is. Are you kidding me? Come back! I can't catch you! You're too fast! I just want to see what happens if I go to Iveen with the zombie disguise going. I don't think anything special happens, but... Yeah, in an action RPG, I want stuff that gives plus move speed just for quality of life. I agree, Vez. In most, like, action-type RPGs, I love increasing my movement speed however I can. 400% cheat engine is starting to sound better. skeleton. I don't think I'm gonna run around in this disguise any longer. I think I've got to. I've got to drop the disguise. Oh, look! It even changes your thing on here. That's actually pretty cool. Oh, it even changes your thing on here. Now that I don't think I ever noticed before. I don't think I ever in my life noticed that if you get the zombie disguise on, it actually changes your portrait in the character sheet. That is pretty cool.
Exchanged for some needle and thread and some embalming fluid. Baxis disguised me as a zombie. Warned me that running would ruin the disguise and that I shouldn't talk to others while disguised, as zombies don't talk.
Zombie has its own attack animation. Skeleton. I like these old pictures they used for the characters and creatures. Dustmen male, they got some crazy hair. These skeletons have been given a semblance of life through necromancy. Although these skeletons have no ligaments or musculature, their joints are bound with thin metal bolts and their bones appear bound with leather straps and cords wound beneath their armor. Skeletons suffer less damage from any slashing or piercing weapons. Crushing weapons such as clubs and hammers inflict normal damage. Good to know. Kind of nice they made all that effort of a tiny piece of questing in one zone. Yeah, exactly. That's what I like. I wanted to check to see if for some reason this was changed too, but no, it's not. All right, I think we're gonna kill the zombie disguise because I cannot bother walking everywhere. Disguise removed. Okay, that's fine. Green steel knife. Anonymous claims the embalming room key is useless. Are you sure, Anonymous? Are you sure? Well, I'll come back to this guy. Anyway. I'm going down to the first floor. Going downtown. I'm super close to leveling up now. Mortuary, first floor. There's another zombie worker. These metallic blue tapestries are made of thin chain links. Chain link tapestries, that's strange. This doddering corpse has had its eyes sewn shut as well as its mouth, and the number 732 is carved into its brow. The threadwork that keeps its ocular cavities sealed looks extremely old. You wonder if the eyes were sewn shut before or after the man's death. You notice he is carrying a huge tome in his hands, as if taking it somewhere. Let's check his tome. You carefully take the tome from the corpse's hands. It doesn't seem to notice. The tome appears to be a book of enchantments and wards. It is filled with diagrams and charts detailing various aspects of the necromantic arts. The book itself is extremely heavy. As awkward as the zombie is, it must be extremely strong. Examine it again.
Sorry about taking that book from you. Just looked too interesting to pass up.
Corpse continues to stare at you. What did we get? Tome of Bone and Ash. Weighs 5 pounds. This worn, leather-bound tome lists diagrams and charts detailing several minor wards and enchantments. There are numerous drawings of skeletons, bones, and the manner by which they may be preserved over time. Of particular interest is the section regarding guardians. Apparently, the dustmen animate corpses of fallen giants to serve as guardians for the mortuary. To make them even deadlier, armoring enchantments are woven into their breastplates to help shield them from attacks. The book is much too complex for you to absorb all at once, but it looks as if you could refer to certain sections when the need arises. Cool.
I'm gone.
Another rusty, blood-covered slab. Okay. Happen to know a little something about this zombie. I'm not going to say anything about. See a male corpse with the number 331 chiseled into his skull. His eyes and lips are stitched closed, and there is a gaping hole torn in his throat. He smells foul.
Oh, see anything interesting going on?
There's a head silently with its sightless eyes. Oh boy. Might not have been him. It's one of these in this section. 3, 3, 3, 1. Thanks. This is a heavy barred gate of rusted steel. There doesn't appear to be any way of opening it. There's an old symbol on this plaque. It looks like a screaming skull with sharp blades protruding from its sides. This is very interesting, isn't it? Heavy metal pipes run from the floor into the wall. This reanimated male corpse has the numbers 1041 carved into its forehead. Despite its taut, desiccated flesh, it is apparent that its features once had a rather exotic cast to them. The zombie's lips have been stitched closed, most likely to prevent it from moaning incessantly, and it smells strongly of formaldehyde.
Oh, seen anything interesting going on?
It continues to stare at you. Another rusty, blood-covered slab. This woman's corpse pauses in its trudging about as you approach. You notice the number 114 is carved into her forehead. Her mouth has been sewn shut, but the threading is slowly coming loose and faint moans issue from between her lips. Yeah, I know, he actually runs towards you instead of taking a leisurely hike. That is an improvement.
So, doing anything later?
The corpse continues to stare at you. And suddenly a portal opens. I must be carrying the right thing to be a portal key. What is it? Hold on. Let me see something here. If I were to hypothetically... I can't remember which item is the portal key. Is it junk? Or is it like rags? It's something really weird like that, I think. Let's just see something. If I leave that stuff there for a second and I come back here, does the portal open? Yeah, it does. Well, it's either something else I'm carrying or the portal always opens whether you're carrying it or not because it has some other key that's non-physical. I can't remember now. I can't remember what opens the portal. We're not going through the portal right now. We're not going over here yet either. There's a giant skeleton and an implement of pain wall. Got a crescent hatchet. Usable by fighters only. 2 to 7 slashing, Thaco -1. Now here's the interesting thing. My Thaco's an 18. Now the lower your Thaco is, the better. So you would think Thaco -1 would be an improvement. Like, yay, I'll have a Thaco 17 and I will be hitting even easier. But you would be wrong because it doesn't change at all, because this doesn't update based on the weapon you're using. To hit -3. Okay, to hit -3. Go back to fist. To hit 0. Alright, so -2 of that is because of the... But see, that -3 is not a good -3. That's not taking 3 off of your Thaco, that's taking 3 off of your roll. Which means it's making it harder to hit. And I'm pretty sure that's what they mean when they say -1 Thaco. Let's say I'm using something else that I'm not proficient with. I've got a -2, yeah. Then I use this instead, and it goes to -3 because that -1 Thaco is not an improvement. It's actually lying, is what it is. This is not accurate. It's not actually a -1 to your Thaco, it's a -1 to your roll. And if it said +1 Thaco, it would be a bonus. Even though actually adding to your Thaco would make your Thaco worse, what it's saying is it's not actually adding to your Thaco, it's adding to the roll. So that's how that works. I saw another streamer earlier tonight who was confused about that very thing, and they were talking about it and couldn't figure out what it meant between the difference of a minus versus a +1 Thaco on a weapon. And now I have just explained it to you, so if you play this, you won't have to be confused. This huge hatchet has a crescent-shaped head. Although an intimidating weapon, it looks more decorative than functional. Not only is it extremely heavy, but the balance is poor and the edge is dull and pitted. Despite the difficulty in using the hatchet in combat, the long handle allows the wielder to put considerable force into the swing. Yeah, so it sucks, is what the truth is about that weapon. Alright, we got a giant skeleton here, and I do want to mess with it, I think. So let's do it. Before you is a giant skeleton in ornate bronze armor. The armor has been bolted onto the skeleton's frame, and a series of elaborate symbols have been carved across the breastplate. You wonder where the skeleton came from. You weren't aware they made humans in this size. The huge blade in its hands looks like it weighs as much as a wagon cart. Yeah, warrior classes get -2 to hit with weapons without proficiency for them. That's right. Yeah, that sounds accurate from 2nd edition.
Hey, how about this skeleton, Mort? Will it do as a body?
Mort grins.
Is that a yes or...
Oh, sorry. Mort floats up to the head of the skeleton, stares at it, then floats back down, studying the armor and the blade as he descends. Oh, yes! Yes, I think this'll do!
Alright then, give me a second to pry the head off this thing.
As you're about to do so, you suddenly stop, and your eyes are drawn to the skeleton's armor. Something about the symbols engraved on its breastplate makes you pause. If these skeletons are guardians, then disturbing them may awaken them. Let's examine it carefully. The skeleton's intricate bronze armor is riveted onto its ribcage and shoulder blades with a series of iron bolts. As you study the frame behind the armor, you notice the same iron bolts are set into the skeleton's shoulder, elbow, pelvic, and knee joints. A mass of thick leather cords and heavy knotted ropes run along the length of the skeleton's arms and legs, woven in such a pattern that they resemble muscles and tendons. Examine the armor. Despite the armor's obvious age, it looks well cared for. It shines brightly, and the symbols engraved on the breastplate seem to flow in the firelight, shifting slightly whenever you try to focus on them. Let's study the symbols. Almost unconsciously, you let your gaze relax as you look at the symbols. After a moment, the symbols cease shifting and resolve into a trail of runes that run up and down the breastplate. Strangely enough, the interlocking pattern of runes reminds you of chains. And with that thought, you suddenly recall that these runes are some sort of warding enchantment. I do have the book of this sort of thing. Study the pattern of runes as they weave their way across the breastplate. On its most basic level, the runes are a lesser armoring enchantment. Several skull-shaped runes and spherical tracings along the edges of the armor make you suspect several greater necromantic and warding enchantments are woven in as well. Touching the skeleton will most likely cause it to awaken and defend itself. Let's try to dispel the enchantments now. I do have high intelligence and that book. I think I just leveled up. You suspect that marring the rune pattern along the breastplate could unravel the enchantments, but it looks difficult. The pattern is complicated, and scratching out the wrong portion could cause the skeleton to animate. I'm going to compare the pattern to the enchantments in the Tome of Bone and Ash and see if you can determine how they can be broken. From what you can make out from the tome, it seems the armoring enchantment applies only to the breastplate. The necromantic enchantment allows the skeleton to be raised, but it is the warding enchantment that gives the skeleton its limited awareness of its surroundings. Guess that if you were to mar the skeleton's wards, it would interpret it as an attack, unless you blinded it to your presence first. So, warding enchantment first. Then working backward through the rune pattern. That's what we're gonna do. Work is different and nerve-wracking at first, but slowly your mind begins to focus and the runes begin to unravel beneath your attack. Within minutes, the giant skeleton has been stripped of the enchantments binding it. It collapses, falling to the floor with a crash of bones and a heavy clanging noise. Now you may be asking yourself, hey Ravoma, welcome back. How you doing, Ravoma? You may be asking yourself, wait a minute, isn't the Nameless One a fighter at this point? How is a fighter dispelling enchantments and stuff? Well, the answer, the official answer from one of the developers is the Nameless One has been everything in his long, long illustrious life. He's been every class, he's done every kind of thing you can learn to do. In fact, he's not just been every class, he's mastered every class. But because of his memory loss, he's forgotten how to do almost all the stuff that he knows how to do. And currently, he only knows how to be a really shitty fighter. But situationally, he can remember how to do all sorts of other things that might not apply to his class because he used to be able to do those things in the past. That's the answer to that question that no one was asking. They should have made an onion kid like in Final Fantasy. I don't understand. Which Final Fantasy? An onion kid? You have completely lost me, Toger. And a heavy clanging noise.
Damned pile of bones.
Ooh, we got 500 XP in this conversation already, and we just got 800 more. This is sweet. You wait for a moment, but no one responds to the sound. Moving quickly, you sift through the skeleton's parts on the floor. Most of it is too heavy or too old to be useful, but you discover a piece of the skeleton's breastplate with a majority of one of the broken enchantments engraved on it. You have a feeling that it could prove useful.
Just take it then.
I feel stronger.
I feel stronger.
Yes, the level up sound. We leveled up. Sorry, Mort, I guess you're not going to get this one as your body. And this is what we got. A Rune of Lesser Warding. Invokes armor, teaches user armor. Teaches us the armor spell. Upon closer examination of the runes covering the surface of this breastplate, you think you might be able to unlock the rune's power and use it to invoke a primitive warding enchantment similar to the one that protected the giant skeleton. Activating the rune will destroy the breastplate, however. We're going to hold on to that until we become a wizard. Weighs 5 pounds, though. That's a very heavy fucking scroll, basically. A very heavy scroll. So, I leveled, but why didn't Mort? He's close, but he's not there. He's only level 2. Alright. Let's, quick save again. Do our level up. Nameless one, fighters. Saving throws have improved. Fighting skills have improved. 1 characteristic points gained. 10 hit points gained. I have 31 now, which is nice. Thief skills. Don't have any because I'm not a thief. Saving throws. Improve. Actually, that's some pretty significant improvements. That's a huge improvements. Hold on. Wasn't my save versus spell 16 before? Now it's 12? You going fighter class? No. You just start as a fighter. I'm gonna be a mage. And we're going wisdom. At first. I'm gonna put a few points into wisdom before I start going into intelligence for a while, and then I'll start going into charisma for a while. Wisdom 19. Last 10. Still true neutral. I haven't done enough to become. But at least I have some more hit points now, which is good. Alright. Dual classing from Kensai like every monk chicken out there. Well, you can't be a Kensai in this exactly, but... There's another giant skeleton. Now we're going to try something here, even though it's a disastrous idea. And then we'll reload our save. You weren't aware they made humans in this. This says the same thing as before. The huge blade in its hands looks like it weighs as much as a wagon cart.
Mind if I hold that blade for a second? You must be getting tired of holding it.
Skeleton looks too long dead to answer any of your questions. Either that or its head is too high up for it to hear you.
How about this skeleton, Mort?
And then he grins, and we go through this before. Give me a second to pry the head off this thing.
That's a risk I'm willing to take.
As you touch the skeleton, an iron bell starts tolling throughout the mortuary, and with lightning-like speed, the skeleton awakens, raising its blade to attack.
I should stay dead, Bones.
Actually, I'm gonna get owned here, so
I'm gone.
Back here.
What's up?
Mort is going to do this. Won't work on him because he's undead, so I don't know why
Your
I'm doing
sheer
that.
ugliness stabs pain into my eyes. Yeah?
Done.
No, don't come after me. I'll just let Mort beat on you while you try to come after me, son. Stupid skeleton. Mort's missing and missing and missing because this thing has a good armor class. It's also resisting a lot of the damage because it's piercing, and it's a skeleton. And the skeleton has not figured out that it can attack Mort for some reason. That AI, am I right? That AI. What if I go in here and get in on this? Terrible idea! Oh my god, I got hit for half my health immediately.
Did you see that?
There was a crit for 5.
Did you see that?
This is next level Planescape Torment play right now, by the way. Let me tell you what anyone else I've ever seen stream this game would have done. This,
I'm gone.
then this, And then what would have happened to anyone else is their nameless one would have gotten fucking killed because that guy would have attacked him and hit like a fucking truck, and then they'd have been like, "God damn, that's too hard. I guess I won't fight these things." That's what would have happened to anyone else. Obviously not literally any other player, but anybody I've seen streaming this game, they don't use these kind of tactics. They don't do it.
Ooh, looks like my skills have increased.
Oh, 650 XP. Holy shit, maybe we should be killing these things. That is a lot of XP right now. Anyway. We're not going to do that quite yet.
All right.
Because I want to do the dispelling the enchantment thing on it. Pathfinding got enhanced a lot. Yeah. That pathfinding is not great. What classes are available in this? Or you got to go fighter then mage? Ravoma, everybody starts as a fighter in this, and then through the course of gameplay, you can be taught to become a mage instead, or a thief. That's it. There's only 3 classes. And you can switch back and forth between them whenever you want, if you want to. It's not really a good idea to do that, but you could. So you could become a mage for a while, then you could become a thief for a while, then you could go back to a fighter for a while, then you could go back to a mage, but you really shouldn't. You should pick one and stick with that throughout the whole rest of the game, honestly. Mort is a skeleton. In a way, you don't attack your own. I guess that makes sense, Toger. I am actually really surprised that it didn't attack Mort. It was really mad at me. What if I do... Hold on. For science. For science,
What's
okay?
Up? Good as done.
Because we can reload the save anytime we want. What if Mort just attacks by himself? Oh, now it's attacking Mort. So now if I come in here and get on
Did
this,
you see that?
it's still attacking Mort. I think it wasn't bad AI. I think it was so mad at me because I'm the one that touched it that it was single-mindedly focused on the nameless one. Because when Mort attacks it first, it goes after Mort like it normally should. But of course Mort has a great armor class, and so it's getting missed over and over. You can see what's going on up here in the of course the giant skeleton also has a really shitty chance to hit. -2 to hit. What weapon am I using? I should be using fist diamonds. So much missing. Well, okay, I don't think we need to play this out right now. Because I'm not actually going to do this. So, but that was just a test, and it turned out that the skeleton will attack Mort. It just has to not have the super aggro on Nameless One from what happened in the dialogue. Mantling gives 800 and a 5-pound scroll. Yeah, I'm gonna dismantle it. I was surprised that the kill XP was that high for it. Bit like Neverwinter Nights with changing classes? Not really like that at all, no. Mort isn't considered a small creature and doesn't get a dodge bonus against a large creature. Unfortunately, it would in 3rd edition. That's the only edition, I think. That's the case. Alright. Well, that's because this is an RPG, not an action RPG, an actual old school RPG. It's all based on the numbers and rolls. So you didn't actually hit the creature, it's just playing an animation of you swinging. But whether or not you hit it is based on the dice rolls. Because this is based on D&D, so it's just like how it would be in a D&D game. Alright, let's do the spell the enchantments. Warding, then backward through the others. Spelling the enchantment is easier this time around, and the runes quickly unravel beneath your attack. Within minutes, the giant skeleton has been stripped of the enchantments binding it. Remembering what happened to the first, you catch the skeleton before it falls, and with a grunt, slowly lower it to the ground. Quickly rummage through the skeleton's remains.
Let's see what we got this time.
And once again, uncover a piece of the skeleton's breastplate. Like the first, this one also has a fragment of its broken enchantment engraved on it. It could prove useful.
Ooh, looks like my skills have increased.
So then Mort levels up. Now we got a rune of armor. This one teaches the user armor. This one also teaches the user armor. But it's different. Upon closer examination of this breastplate, you realize you didn't mar the warding rune beyond recognition. In fact, unlike the other breastplates, the spell that maintained the integrity of the giant skeleton is mostly intact. So much so, you could either cast the runes as a spell, or copy them into a spell book and keep it as part of your arsenal. Either casting or copying the spell will destroy the breastplate, however. Isn't that exactly what this one does? This says invokes armor, teaches user armor. This says invokes armor, teaches user armor. You do get more than one mage in your party. Yeah, it's nice that you get 2 copies. That's true. I'll use one for Dak'kon and one for myself. What I won't be using, other mage. I don't like him. Okay. Coming up on that 50-pound limit. Just hammer. It's a heavy-ass tome to more. Okay. Killed another skeleton. How is that skull a fighter? That skull bites hard. Bites very hard. Such a cool looking place. Sanctuary. More skeletons. Oh, let's level up Mort real quick. Gains 10 hit points. He has 32 now. Saves have improved. His saving throws are still shitastic. God, his saves are terrible. But he's got 32 hit points. That's important. Hey, what's my lore now? It went up to 21. Is that enough? No. This game fighter means no class or starter class. But Mort's actually a pretty good fighter. He's very resilient and he doesn't do a lot of damage. But okay, this is the same as before. Spell the enchantments. Wording, then work backwards. See what we got this time. Got 800 XP. Got a piece of the breastplate. Rune of Greater Warding. This teaches shield. Upon closer examination of the runes covering the surface of this breastplate, you think you might be able to unlock the rune's power and use it to invoke a primitive warding enchantment, similar to the one that protected the giant skeleton. Activating the rune will destroy the breastplate, however. And there's another skeleton here. This is the easiest 800 XP over and over, and a rune of shielding also teaches shield. Okay. So that's that. There's the Northwest Memorial Hall. We're not trying to go there yet. Although I might skirt the area. No God, not that song. My favorite song on the whole soundtrack. Important song. We're not going there yet, though. Yeah. Oh, I don't think we're quite wanting to meet this guy either at the moment, are we? Quick save, just in case something happens. Alright, another Dustman guard. Oh, this is different. Lean as if to whisper something to him, then snap his neck. You see a stern-looking man in black robes. He is glaring at you suspiciously. You, state your business. No, I shouldn't be listening to DNR's theme while I'm talking to this guy. It's thematically inappropriate.
Seem to have gotten turned around in these halls. Are there any guides around who can direct visitors?
The Dustman frowns. He seems skeptical.
There are guards who can direct you in the antechamber. Do not wander the mortuary unescorted. Thank you for your assistance. I will go speak to the guide.
Alright, and this leads back up to the second level. These are heavy tapestries made of some shiny fabric. The symbol of a screaming skull with sharp blades protruding from its sides is woven on the tapestries. It's kind of creepy. But back to the big central chamber. Alright, the screaming skull with sharp blades again. Is this guard gonna... Yeah, he is. Okay. Why would Joe do his mage quests while still a fighter? I'm not doing my mage quests. If you're referring to getting those things off the thing, that's not doing mage quests. It doesn't matter where I get my XP right now. I'm going to level up to level 6, and then I'm going to switch to mage. So basically, the faster I level up to level 6 as a fighter, the faster I can switch to mage. So it doesn't matter where I get the XP. Then once I switch to mage, everything will be... all the XP I get for the rest of the game will go towards mage. Alright. No, I'm lost. Oh no. I'll speak to the guide. Okay. There's Sogo. He must be important. He's got a name. He's not just Dustman Guard. Give it a second. I'm talking to him. I leveled to 6. It's complicated. Basically, because level 7 is a breakpoint level, where you get a special bonus depending on what class you are. So you don't want to level to 7 as anything but a mage. But the gaining the XP to level to 6 as a fighter, and then regaining that XP to level to 7 as a mage, is pretty trivial compared to the amount of XP you're going to get through the whole game. So you might as well get as many fighter levels as you can without hitting that level 7 and screwing up your bonus from being a level 7 mage to get all the extra hit points from being a fighter. That's the answer. Basically. Let's say I switch to mage at level 4. Then my levels 5 and 6 would be gaining mage hit points instead of fighter hit points. So, you basically end up getting some extra hit points that way. as well as possibly other benefits that I don't remember. I just remember that's like the way you're supposed to do it. Black on this beer is blank. Looks like a large tomb. The marble surface gives it a rather elegant look, and you get more proficiencies that way as well. An elegant beer. Zombie worker. This doddering corpse has had its... Oh wait, we've already... This is the guy that we took the book from. Which means we've now... Because this is where we came in. So there's nothing left to do now. Except this. Talking to Sogo. And giving Vaxus the embalming key. I thought there was more... I thought there was another lootable room down here, but I guess there's not. So I've gained all the information I can, so I'm going to go back up there and see if there's anything new I can do with any of those zombies. And if not, I'm going to kill some more zombies. Metagaming, my immersion. Well, realistically, Mort's not always going to be able to tank everything. Sometimes the Nameless one is going to get attacked when you've got large groups of enemies. So having some extra health is worth it. Plus, you're not always going to be able to cast spells when you're a mage, because you don't have that many. So you're going to need to do some fighting. So having the extra proficiencies will also be useful. And even though I'm playing at Josiah speed, which makes everything's going to take way longer than usual, for a normal player at least, the extra amount of time it takes to level up to 6 as a fighter and then level up as a mage is basically trivial for a normal person. It'll end up being longer for me because I'm me and you know how long it takes me to do everything, but I don't really care about that. Don't be giving me... I'm not all that excited about being a mage anyway. I don't like mages. Especially wizards, which is, you know, arcane spellbook using wizards, which is what this is. I hate that shit, actually. If this were any other RPG based on D&D, I would certainly not be a mage. But in this game, you want to be a mage because in this game, for the dialogue options, you need those certain stats. And if you have those certain stats and are sucky at the other ones, you're going to suck ass as anything but a mage. So... Plus, there are some cool spell effects and stuff in the game later on that are actually pretty fun. So, but in general, I don't like being a mage, especially in the game like this where the opportunities to rest are often very limited. Okay, so stairs up down. What am I doing? Where is this guy? Here he is. Let's give him this key. Alright.
Here's that embalming room key you wanted.
The zombie's eyes widen, and he snatches the key from your hand. He turns it over, nodding all the while.
Good. Good. Now, how do I get out of here?
Updated my journal.
The zombie grunts.
You're gonna scream through portals.
Waves his hands.
Poof. Portals? What portals?
Portals! The zombie waves around the area.
Portals! Can you show me one of these portals?
The zombie nods.
Why not? Go to the arch on first floor, northwest room. You need finger bone, shape of crook.
Oh, that's the portal key. Because I have that bone charm. the portal opens. Oh my god, I wonder what would happen. Oh, that's right, it's not the only way out. If you fucked yourself on the portal, you could still get out of the mortuary another way, but you could use that bone charm in combat, say, and then not have the way to open that portal. That would be a pain in the ass. Because that portal is the best way to get out of here. He holds up his index finger and bends it into a crook. When you have the key, go to Arch. Zip the secret crypt and then escape from there. Secret escape route. He nods eagerly. You can rest there. Really? Can you? Because if I recall correctly, you can't rest there. But maybe you can. Maybe they've changed it, or maybe I'm just remembering wrong. I thought I watched someone play this not very long ago, and they couldn't rest in that room, but maybe I'm wrong.
Arch on the floor, northwest room? Alright, I'll go check it out.
Updated my journal.
Updated my journal! So, quests completed.
Took a little while, but I was finally able to find some and deliver them to her. He asked me to fetch an embalming key for him. In return, he said he would help me escape. Retrieved the key from Iveen and gave it to Vaxus.
Skeletons. Giant skeletons. Damn, they look intimidating in this picture. They look straight intimidating. These skeletons are made from the bones of giants and given a semblance of life through necromancy. Although these skeletons have no ligaments or musculature, their joints are bound with iron bolts and their bones are reinforced with leather straps and cords wound beneath their armor. These skeletons' size belies their great speed and their skill with their great swords. Actually, no, they're not fast, and their skill is shitty because they've got a -2 to hit. So, listen, descriptive text. I see right through your ruse. The archaic armor and weapons these skeletons use do not look like they have suffered from age, and their blades are razor sharp. It is possible that their armor is cleaned daily by one of the mortuary workers. Skeletons suffer less damage from any slashing or piercing weapons. Crushing weapons such as clubs and hammers inflict normal damage.
Got Vaxus' precious embalming key. Must need it to get new supplies to maintain its disguise, if the embalming fluid smell coming off of him is any indication. Vaxus told me there's a secret portal in the northwest room of the first floor of the mortuary. Take a crooked finger bone up to it, it will activate and take me to a secret crypt. Vaxus says I can rest.
I don't know why rest is in quotes. And skeletons don't do enough damage. Oh, that's right. You're making them up. Well, they do enough damage. They don't have enough chance to hit, I think, is the issue. Thanks for that auto host text, Brad. You're probably not here to hear me say this, but thank you anyway, Brad. I appreciate it. All right. Moving forward, I need to end this episode. And in fact, what time are we looking at? 8 a.m. I can keep going a bit. I can keep going. I don't need to stop. So, if you're watching the stream, don't go anywhere because I'm not done playing. If you are watching on YouTube, that is going to do it for this episode. So thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays Planescape Torment Enhanced Edition.